World, hey young world,
Woop Woop show.
it's Lydia.
Welcome. Woop Woop.
Welcome to the Woop Woop show.
Woop Woop.
How about with the winter crab? Woop Woop.
Woop show.
Woop Woop.
Welcome to the Woop Woop show. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey young world,
10,
Woop show.
9,
it's Lydia.
Welcome. Woop Woop.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey young world, it's Lydia, and welcome back to another episode of the Woop Woop Show. Like I told y'all last week, we're in our second season, and I'm so glad to be here into the second season. I got a lot of great people lined up. I wanted to go ahead and start off with the prayer that I always say, and I really hold this prayer deep to my heart. It always just chokes me up even when I'm about to say it. So be strong and encouraged. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord our God is with us wherever we go. Now, last week I said it without even a hiccup. This week, I guess I'm a little extra nervous. I want to go ahead and talk about, the fact that the Woop Woop Show has been going on the second season. The first season, we had a great line of people, and those people came on the show and they represented. And I also wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for participating in the Fall Soup Collaboration 2021. The first guest was me, then it was Gigi, then it was Tiana, then it was Pit Stop Kitchen and Garden, then it was, it's so many. Then it was Hands in the Dirt, then today was Love Lady. And everything has been going so great. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for that. Don't forget to check out tomorrow over there at Everyday Life of an OCD-ish Chick. That's over there with Nikki. And I just want to show you guys another clip of what you guys been missing all along if you have not catched the replay of season 1. Well, Titi in the garden community, what is she in gardening?
Would be Larry Farmer 73.
And then you got your snow.
We got too much snow.
And they would be telling us little tidbits of things in life that would carry us things.
Creative, but I don't want to be placed in a box, and I just appreciate the fact that you accept that.
Like different things. Cooking just happens to be my passion. I've been cooking for so very long.
Birds don't even eat the fruit, but they tearing up my figs. They tearing up.
You have put this meal together. Do you cook fast like this all the time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I said, I read this book by Colin Powell, General Colin Powell, and he says, make a plan and execute.
So that was season 1. And each and every one of those guests are dear to my heart, and I'll never be able to repay them enough for creating that platform. But today I have a new guest. Now this guest right here, y'all better be ready to be inspired, because this young man has inspired me so much. He is a great young man. His first name is Thaddeus. His channel is called Chain Breaker, because he's doing what? He's breaking chains, honey. It's time to stop, look, and listen and pay attention. Welcome, Thaddeus. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. How you doing, Lydia?
Thaddeus, I have really enjoyed your content. I have been working on just admiring the land that you created. What made you become a content creator?
I started with just what was the sweet potato slips, and from there, we just kind of, something just told me, just go ahead and just film it. Somebody watches it, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I was happy to just film it and just try going for it.
That was a big old sweet potato. Would you call that a yam, or was it a sweet potato?
I think it was a sweet potato. I think it was a sweet potato, but it was massive though.
It had even rooted from the bottom. They said don't do that, but yours did.
Yeah, it did, and I was surprised by that. So I just took it and I ran with it.
How was the harvest of the sweet potatoes for 2020?
It was real. It was hit and miss. Some parts we did okay, and in other parts we did all right. I think the soil was just a little bit too compact, but it grew. The vines themselves grew like wildfire though. But we got a couple sweet potatoes out of it. Not too much.
Yeah, and for some reason I saw the white potato harvest, which was a great harvest as well. And but I didn't see the sweet potato harvest. Did you do a video for that?
No, I didn't do the sweet potato harvest.
Okay, because I thought I slipped it.
Yeah, I didn't get that many from it.
Steps.
Yeah, yes.
I'm like, I don't know if I missed it or not, but I'll just bring it up. Well, I also know that you educated yourself in growing on your, property. Tell us a little bit about educating yourself and what made you go say, hey, I'm gonna educate myself. I'm gonna know what I'm doing. And when did you decide to do that? How long ago? Because you don't look new at it.
Well, my great grandfather was a farmer and a sharecropper, so I kind of just bounced off of that. My father was a landscaper, my cousins are landscapers, so I kind of just from there. Then I just sort of started to educate myself a little bit more because back then I was kind of young. I was paying attention, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was just seeing what they were doing, and then within the past couple of years or so, I just started reading books, watching a bunch of YouTube. Hitting up the USDA website a lot and just hitting it hard and just trying to figure out stuff and just to see why some things are growing, why some things aren't.
Just trying to understand the whole aspect of growing, and because you started off with a small piece and now you're like expanding,
right?
And that comes with a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it's a ton of work, but I love to do it. So it's not really so much as work. It's just staying on. It just keeps me on my toes, and just it's a fun challenge every day.
It is
every single day.
It is. Now, is this your first? How many years have you had I know total of 5 now. How long? When did you? I didn't see the chickens when they were little chicks. When did you start getting chickens? Like what year was that? 2020 as well?
Yep, that was 20. We got them right during the first lockdown, so that was April.
Right, so, March,
April 20.
Right at the end of March.
Mm-hmm. And then and now we got 6 more coming, so they should be here in a couple days.
Oh, did your chickens have? No, because you don't have no rooster.
I don't have any rooster. No.
No, Lydia. No, that is not how it works. They just lay the eggs. You have to have a rooster to fertilize the eggs, right?
That's right.
I had to think about that.
No, I'll take that back. Now, there's a rooster down the street, but we try to keep homeboy from coming down here. So long.
I think he froze up for a few seconds. We might have got too excited. Just bear with us, please. You froze up a little bit on me. There you go. You back.
Okay, I'm back now.
All right. Okay. You told me about the rooster down the street. Well, he was trying to come on down.
Yeah, we're trying to keep him. We're trying to keep him up the street.
You try to ease on down the road.
That's right.
So, you say you're in South Carolina, but are you in Columbia?
No, we're outside of Spartanburg. Right outside of
Spartanburg.
It's like the upstate of South Carolina. It's going to be like headed back towards, like if you go towards Charlotte area, but you detour and like take a left.
Towards Charlotte, North Carolina, towards Rock Hill.
Yes, but instead of going straight up 20, what is that, 20? You would take 26.
It would be 20 to 77.
Yes. So you're going to come back towards the upstate, towards the mountains and everything up here.
Oh, wow. I bet it's beautiful up there as well.
Yeah, it's also cold sometimes. So yeah.
So y'all get a little bit of that North Carolina weather.
Yes. Yeah, we do actually. Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, because I knew you were in South Carolina just like myself, but I didn't know exactly where you were in your area and your housing, just the space between the neighbor. I like that too. So I'm like, well, he ain't got no close neighbors. So I guess he can do what he need to do.
Yeah, that is a good part. I wish we had a little bit more space because I'm really from the country, so even to me, this is kind of close, but it's not. But it's not as close as it as it can be. Yeah.
So okay. So you started your channel. You came in with some knowledge. You didn't come in without knowledge. You came in learning and getting knowledge on your own. One time you talked about going to maybe like a farmers convention, or was that a gardening school? Where was that at?
That's upcoming this later on this in October.
In October.
Yes, and it's like a I want to say a 6-week seminar for young farmers and upstarts and stuff like that. And so I'm really excited to be going to that.
Yeah, we should definitely be educating ourselves, and I like that you educate us on just knowing the extension numbers and extension lines and different things like that. Those things are not something you think about when you first start, and then I wouldn't have never known anything about the different extension lines had it not been for the like Lady Cheryl's telling you about the what's the website she'll tell us go to find out our grow zone or what's the best to grow in our grow zone. What is that website called? It's called
I forget the one that she actually names out.
I'm gonna
draw. They'll come to me though.
I'm gonna draw a blank on that whole thing. Say I'm just draw a blank on that whole thing because it'll probably come back to me. But so anyway, I just like everything you do in your growth, in your expansion, and you just go out there and you just take it one day at a time. Your sunflowers looked amazing. What you've done to that when you put that lavender in the ground, that lavender really took off. The lavender.
It did. Thank you for noticing that. It did, and I'm very surprised. I did all the research because it's kind of hard to get it to grow in clay, and I was really surprised at how well it did. Really surprised.
Yeah. So the you started them off as little bushes, and you created a big enough hole. You dug in that hole. You put rocks in there. You laid the hole. Put the sugar cane down there, and I was like. So, then I was like, is that what we're supposed to do? But he said he was trying to make the clay more airy so it can do its thing. And I think, based off following you and looking at your journey, it has really helped just with the tilling and putting the lavender down there. Where did you get that research from?
I watched. It was just a random person on YouTube I watched. Then I read up on it a little bit. And then, so I just kind of I looked at both of their methods. Some of it was kind of, I wasn't too sure about it, but I just kind of combined both those methods a little bit, just kind of made it my own, put a little twist on it. So it wouldn't be too costly in planting them. And so I just kind of improvised here or there.
Well, it worked and it's working. Do you have any tinctures or anything you're going to create with the lavender now that you have an abundance of it?
I haven't thought about that yet. Like, we've got a bunch of herbs out here, and some of the things I've dehydrated, but lavender is not one of them that I've actually did anything with yet. It's there and it's growing really well. But we'll have to.
And it smells good too, I'm sure.
It does. It smells phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Okay. Let's talk about you working in the garden. What age can you remember the hardest you worked and probably not liking it once upon a time? You probably didn't even, you probably was like, man, I gotta go out here again in this hot sun. I want to go play football.
Yeah. It wasn't so much.
That's how we be.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. It wasn't actually. Yeah, it wasn't actually a garden, but it was my father had a. I'm sorry, did you guys? I might cut out there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, my father had a ton of azalea bushes, and man, it's a lot of those. They were a lot of work. So I wasn't. That was probably, I want to say probably 12 or 13, having to break up pine straw every year, putting them down, feeding them. At that, that's a lot of work. It is work.
Yeah, and you gotta. I heard people say up here the other day. This was the first time I heard it. The guy said he didn't volunteer; he was voluntold.
That's right.
That's what happened to you. I had never heard that before. I just heard that the first time Friday. I'm like, wow, I never heard nobody say I was voluntold. But hey, when you're coming up, your parent is your parent, and they're your boss, and they're your supervisor, and they're your CEO, and they're your everything. And without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And we don't start realizing how great and how much they sacrifice to us until we start having families and we start climbing ladders. And we look back as we get older and see what it must have felt like to be our mother's mother, or our son's father, or our son's mother. You know what I'm saying? So those things I do appreciate my parents, but yeah, I was voluntold to pick a lot of peas and shuck a lot of peas. And I'm talking about when the bushels used to be the little tin brown basket, and it used to sit high in this chair. I can't even look. You sit about this high, and y'all just like Lady Cheryl sat around and shuck peas all day long. And it was, and we ate good too, though. So Lily is a big help.
She is.
She's small, but she's mighty.
She is a dynamo. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Lily will be out there putting the black-eyed peas in the ground and putting them on the ground. She'll be out there watering the flower, watering the garden, and watering herself too. I'd be like, Lily is a hard worker. She be working hard.
Yeah. Yes, she is. It was right around the pandemic when we kind of built out the other garden a little bit, and I think she just turned right around 2, and she's been out in the dirt ever since with me. So it rubbed off on her a little bit.
Yeah, when she get about 4 or 5, she can be like, Daddy, I'll stand here this time.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Yeah, more than likely she gonna back off and put back on, but she's gonna start finding some things she loves. Does she ever like to eat tomatoes straight out the garden, or try things straight out the garden?
That's her thing. You always see her around here walking around with fruit and vegetables, and sometimes she eats all of it. Sometimes she just takes a bite out of it, and then she'll put it back like we don't notice that she took a bite out of the fruit. So.
Be like, was this a chicken or was this Lily?
Exactly.
It's a wonderful thing. I try to encourage my baby girl to start a small part of the garden for herself, but she's like, I'm fine, I'm good. But she helps me do whatever I need to be done, or I voluntold her to do it. I voluntold her to do everything I need her to do. So let's talk about how knowledgeable you are about the chickens. You're very knowledgeable about your chickens. And I have a coop that's not finished, and I like everything. I've been listening to other people, and I will ask different questions. But when you talked about the buff orpington and how many eggs they lay, now that's like a great tip. Where they derives from, or what country and state. I ain't gonna tell you I'm Australia, I think one of them are, or England, those types of things, and which bird was the loudest and which bird was not the loudest. How do you purchase your chickens? Because you're not local like me. I have to, if I want a chicken, I either have to look on Craigslist, or I have to look on what's that other one? Craigslist and
maybe Facebook, maybe
Facebook Market,
Mhm.
and go to the Tractor Supply.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't sound like Tractor Supply. You just buy whatever. You don't know what you're gonna get. But I would like to know what I'm getting. How do I do that? How do I get exactly the type of chicken that I know that ain't gonna chase me off, that's gonna give me the best, and that's gonna, where are you getting these chickens from? You ain't getting them from around the corner, are you?
No. So that the first 6 that we got, they came from Myers Hatchery.
Okay.
Yeah, they came from Myers Hatchery, and I ordered strictly females. I just did research on chickens that I know wouldn't cause too much of a ruckus in the backyard, because we do have neighbors, so I want to be kind of conscious of that.
Mhm.
And so that's how I kind of pared them down to that. And then of course just straight females, no roosters, because a lot of counties and stuff, they don't allow you to have roosters in your backyard. But this next batch we got coming, I got them from Cackle, and this is my first time using them, so we'll see how it goes.
What breeds did you go with this time?
These are barred rocks coming in this time. All 6 of them.
Rock. What color? What color is a barred rock? I don't know.
They're like a little zebra kind of color. They're black and white.
Mm-hmm. And what's some of the temperaments of that particular chicken?
It's supposed to be really, really good with people, and so that's for all the chickens out there. That's all the.
That's the most important thing.
That was the most important thing, because there is Lily, and so you want something that's not going to run up and pecker and all that stuff. So yeah, and so that was a big deal, because we had chickens growing up. My grandfather, but he had like some wild gangster birds that just walked up on the property, and so. And so
they like, don't come over here, because this is my domain.
That's right. So I'll never forget them kind of chickens. So I wanted something else a little bit different than that.
So I personally never owned chickens. So seeing you start from where you're starting at, it is helpful to me too. So thank you for that information that you give us about the different types of chickens and everything. And I want to go ahead and touch base on Sweet Pea. We know Sweet Pea. Everybody who follow you, we knew Sweet Pea. And I just want to thank you for all that content when it came to don't get so complacent into everything you have, and and a lot of words that you speak are great words, and they help me a lot. So just not guarding your flock. That's what it was. Guarding your flock. Let's talk about the importance of being aware of predators. Because a predator gonna prey. You can't protect it 100%, but you fell short a little bit. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, you can get kind of lax in this, and I think that's in farming in general. It's real easy to get caught up in it, and you see, well, every day everything looks okay, and then all of a sudden, a fox comes in one night, and well, in this case, a weasel came in one night, and off went the chicken. So I think, especially with chickens, you want to just be prepared that you may lose one or two here or there, especially if you're kind of like mine free, they just roam around. So I'm always kind of prepared. Maybe a hawk comes in and get them one day, but especially at night, you just want to take precautions, make sure you lock them up, and just check your perimeter thoroughly. Just check the perimeter of their fence as best as you can and as often as you can, because something could sneak in behind you and take. Luckily, we got away with just losing Sweet Pea, but something could come in one night and take your whole flock.
How did you know exactly it was a weasel?
Right, because the hole that it got in was so small, and so I knew it wasn't a fox, because I see the fox come by every other night. But then when for real, he's real bold. And but then when I heard the chicken screaming. I came outside, and by the time I got down the steps into the back, I saw him drag it off. So it was a little bit too late then.
You ain't tell that part.
see, that part was painful. So I love that part.
You ain't tell that part. You don't broke my heart. You don't broke my heart. So I'm like, what? They just pulled them off. Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
So listen, you know, I want to stop buying eggs. You know, I want to stop buying eggs. You know, we eat free range eggs, which we think they are free range eggs, but there's no way of telling them. We don't know how long they set, wherever they set, but we do it. But you know, since I've been on this garden journey, because I'm a new gardener, I know you see I just be trying and praying over it, and then go out there and work it the best I can. And we ain't gonna make this about me, but you know I'm trying. So one day I'm never gonna know it all. You know, I'm never gonna know it all. There's gonna be some trials and error. But I appreciate your channel that I can see, you know, how you changed that soil around, because that soil was clay. That soil was clay. Now it's like glitter. Sprinkle me, baby. Sprinkle me. And I'm so happy for you that you know. Have you ever tested your soil?
Use those little kits that you get from like Lowe's. I think I got mine from Home Depot actually. That's the only time I've ever had it like officially tested. I've never sent it off to the extension office,
to the station office.
Yeah.
So I haven't never did that yet neither. So another thing about the chickens, excuse me, I'm sorry. Who collect the eggs, you or your wife, or both?
Me. The majority of all that is all me. So try to get them out there every other day. They produce quite a bit, but now that it's getting a little late in the year, some of the breeds that we have out there they'll stop laying as much just due to due to lack of sunlight. So we only got one. Go ahead. Yeah, well, we only have one breed out there that will really produce all year long, and that's the speckled Sussex.
Oh, that's awesome to know. So over in 2 days, you have a total. When you did have 6 birds, how many eggs would you get in 2 days?
A
lot. That sounds like a lot.
Quite a bit. They start off really slow, and then gradually it picks up. So out of 6 chickens, I may have maybe 8 to 10 eggs
every 2 days.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
that is a lot.
Yeah, so once you get a flock, you gotta be prepared for that.
That is a lot. I have learned a lot. I think I don't supposed to make it about me, but I think when I do get there, I'm gonna know how to preserve the eggs, and we probably start pickling a lot of eggs and different things like that to go ahead and we'll share a lot with our neighbors as well if I don't know what to do right away, So it's gonna be a learning process for me. And one question. So you're purchasing your chickens now, so they're going to be little babies, and they'll be ready to lay in about 8 weeks or 16 weeks. Which?
It should be sometime probably around April or May. Yeah, so somewhere around next late spring or early summer, they should be ready to go. Okay,
so I may send me the information about where you went to before and this time. And I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and start them in the house with the little, tub and the little fence and a little water. I think it's time for me to do it. And then also I already got the coop almost there. I can just go ahead and just buckle down and say, hey, let's get this coop where it needs to be. It's basically the whole thing. I just never pressured my husband or showed like I want him to really do it. He's waiting on me, I'm waiting on him type thing, I understand. Our spouses are so patient.
You are right about that.
Our spouses are so patient with us because everybody don't get the chance to get called to do so. And I don't think it's by chance that I'm growing. I don't think this is by chance, not one little bit. And then just
right.
and even with you, I know it's not by chance. This is your calling. This is what was told to you, and you just love it so much, and you're thankful so much, and you give thanks to God a lot, and I love that about your channel. So it keeps me grounded and understanding those little you know affirmations. Those are messages. Okay. Like, don't you say that word. So yeah, those affirmations that you give me is I thank you personally for that. So I was excited. So we've been chatting on about a little over 30 minutes, but I want to talk about your channel a little bit more. It's called Chain Breakers. All right. Why did you come up with that name? Why was that name the name?
It's just about freedom. It's about a better understanding where my food and everything is coming from. Because if you go to like Whole Foods, you're paying out yin yang just for a pretzel. And so this gives me an opportunity to break those chains, to be held down by big corporations and all these big farms and stuff. Now I know exactly where my food's coming from.
Right.
I'm doing it myself. And so that's breaking so many different barriers and chains just for me personally. So that's how I came. That's why I came up with the name for it.
Yeah. So I wanted to. I'm not going to talk about what I'm about to show you a lot, but I have this book here. All right. It says People Who Change the World. All right. So it has all races and it has all creeds and it has a lot of different people in here, probably over 100 and some people in here, about people who brought change to the world, all the way from the first map that was drawn. The first map that was drawn by his name was Mercator. That's the last name. And it was back in 1512 to like 1594. And what he did for the people was he took, that little math thing that nobody know what to do with, that little pointy with the pencil on one end and the point. He kind of like made the diagram how the world was made and how much difference in space that we were from actually each other. So people can travel around the world with their boats and all that stuff, But he, that was a change that we needed. And without him, they would have never had maps. They never would have known what the sound like they learned the world was round too. I don't know the history of it, but I just wanted to touch base on a person who made change happen. And then I want to go ahead and Desmond Tutu. He was a pastor over in South Africa who fought for change for the people there, and he won a Nobel Peace Prize. And that's another person that was highlighted in this book. And I thought about you and thought about the person that you did highlight, and just people of all races and colors are making changes, and you got to be the chain breaker somewhere. And why not be the chain breaker in your own family? Better eating. Kroger who?
That is so good.
Kroger
so
who?
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So Walmart who? You know exactly where your stuff come from, and you're breaking the chain. I think it's very important. I think we all should be growing, at least try. Don't say you can't do something when ain't no such thing as I can't. It's always right. I can. So that's what I wanted to talk about. That now you paid homage to one person so far. Do you know who you might do next as a chain breaker?
I'm still going down my list of people. But yeah, I'm narrowing in on a couple of folks.
So I like that a lot. So thank you. I've been doing this a while, but for whatever reason, this chat is not going. I believe people are viewing it. I'm going to hit the refresh button just to make sure, but if not, we're going to keep going. All right?
Okay.
So let me hit my refresh button. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm back. All right, so let's go here and let's see. It says that we live, so I'm gonna just keep it as that. So let's go on to the next part of our show, which is the game called. Oh, I lost my game. It's called What's the V. So as I play this, it's gonna be a break between you being able to answer. Normally, if the chat was working, and I don't know exactly what's going on with that part of it, so I apologize, they'll be able to help you. But we're gonna go on, and I'm gonna pull up my extra string, and we're gonna play What's the V, and it is so much fun. So let's go ahead to that. Let's see. Share string, share that, and then this one is this one. And then I put share. Can you see that?
I can.
Okay. So you can see that. So boom. So let's do this. All right. So I'm going to push play. I got a little red trimming around my live now for all of a sudden. I don't know why exactly. Give me one more second because I'm curious now.
Okay.
Because you're gonna need all the help you can get. Let me see. Hit the right button, Lydia. All right, I text one person to see, can they see us, and maybe I'm just not seeing them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna copy paste. I want to send a happy birthday shout out to my grandkids. That's Leo and Luna. Leo and Lou is 4 years old today.
Oh, happy birthday!
They're twins, fraternal twins. So that just as soon as I went to the phone, oh, somebody said no.
Oh.
Let me see something right quick. And I wonder why nobody, normally they would have just probably said something over and over again, but it says that we're live. So I have no idea why it wouldn't actually be showing the chat, because normally, even if we had 2 or 3 people, it would have been fine by me, because, hey, what's for me is for me.
Okay.
She said maybe it's not public. Well, let me hit this button over here.
Okay.
It says you are live. It says I'm live. And then it says, oh, guess what it say?
Private.
It say unleashed. So I never had that happen before. So, but I'm still here. Okay. So maybe they will be able to still let me look at the edit button. It still say unleashed. So I say public, and then maybe I roll down, and then maybe I hit save changes. The broadcast must be scheduled in the future. What in the world? So what are we doing if we're not live? Did you ever see the announcement?
No, I didn't see anything pop up.
Do you mind? Are you busy?
No, we can. Let me just. If you give me a second, I can just. I think we got Lily somewhere, and I just tell them they can come in, and then.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know exactly how this is gonna play out, really.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I'll post what we did. So I thank everybody for coming along for the second half, and we'll do a 2-part. And then when I'll do the 2-part, we'll do the second 30 minutes with the game, and then do the rest. So hey, something I learned, you know. So we'll go into the chat, and I'll just make some small announcements, and I'll send you another link and see how I can fix it, or if I can even fix this one. But I don't think so, because it's asking me to, if I put it public, it's asking me to create the date. But so today is what? So it says the date has to be in the future. Today is Monday, and then it won't let me save the changes. All right. So all right. So that's it. So anybody that's viewing this, catch my second part of this live. I guess that's what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna hit end right now. So boom.
Okay.
And then I'll send you the link. Where you want me to send it at? You want me to send it?
You can send it to Jane Burger's Garden. Yeah, just at my email is fine.
Got it. I'm on it. Thank you.
Okay.